what would your advice be as a psychiatrist, as a suicide preventionist, for the person listening to this now that is all those things? What would your advice to them be?
Okay, so just as I did a role play with you, I'm going to do a role play with that person who's listening or seeing this and is feeling hopeless. But you're listening, aren't you? You may be thinking, yeah, that'll work for other people, but nothing will work for me. But you're listening, aren't you? And you may be getting angry. Yeah, I'm listening, but you're making me, get agitated. And something that I know, something that, and maybe we can talk more about this, something I am trying to teach the world. And I spoke in Moscow a few years ago with a Nobel Prize winner, Daniel Kahneman. He wrote a book, Thinking Fast and Slow, and several of my books have done pretty well in Russia. So I was one of the headline speakers along with him. And one of the things I've been trying to teach the world is that whoever you're with, whether it's one-on-one, whether it's me with Joe, or me with 1,000 people, or me with a homeless person, or me with you if you're listening in and you're feeling, everybody is always listening for something underneath their listening to you. So one of the things Joe is listening for is, Dr. Goulston or Mark, whatever you want to call me, you've really given some good tips, but there may be people listening in who right now are in a bad place. And can you give them something to hold on to so that they don't do something destructive? And so, do you follow me? So you reached out to me and you're listening for what can Dr. Goulston say that might help them? And so if you are that person and you're listening for something, what I'm hearing you say, and it's screaming out at me and Joe right now, is I can't make the hurt go away. It just won't go away. I've tried everything and the hurt won't go away. And I don't know if I can take it much longer. And Joe and I are hearing you say that. And we're not going to throw stuff at you, but we're hearing you say it. And I want you to imagine, even though this is asynchronous, that we're hearing you. And all I'll say for you is what my dean of students said for me. There's a future for you that you can't see. There's a future for you that you can't believe is there. And this is going to sound like BS. There may be a reason for what you're going through other than, the world is punishing you. When I was going through it, and it wasn't just something that happened, I dropped out of medical school twice. So yes, there were periods where I recovered, but we're talking about a 4-year span of feeling depressed at times. And if someone said to me, well, maybe there's a reason that you're going through this, I would have gotten angry at them. But the reason it turned out to be is, Mark, if you go through this and you can walk through it and out the other side, you might be able to reach people who are feeling the same. And I wouldn't have believed them in a second. I would have thought they were just kind of talking at me, and that siren's coming to take us all away. But I guess what I would say to you is, and we're not, and Joe and I are not just dumping this on you. reach out to someone. I'll tell you one of the things that I do. I have something I call the Dead Mentors Society. I have 8 mentors, they've all died. And they started with the Dean of Students. And the last one was Larry King, the person on CNN. I went to breakfast with him almost every day for 2 years before COVID in this little breakfast group. And one of the things I do when I'm feeling down, or I felt I really made a stupid mistake, is I'll call up one of the dead mentors in my head. And I'll imagine having a conversation with them, and they're all dead. And I'll imagine them walking me through it. There was a time when I would be on podcasts, and I would start a story. I'd get lost in the story. I would say, you know, there's 5 things you should remember about this, and I could only remember 3 of them. And sometimes after a podcast, I'd call up Larry King, who died. And I'd say, Larry, wake up. And he had this thick Brooklyn accent. What, Mark, you're waking me? What are you waking me for? I'm not even cold. Larry, wake up. What's this about, Mark? I did it again. What'd you do, Mark? I started a story I couldn't remember where I was going. Yeah, so? Yeah, and then I came up with these 5 things and I could only remember 3 of them. Yeah. So what'd the host think, Mark? Oh, the host wants me back again. Mark, you know, I'm not even cold. Can you let me go rest in peace already? Come on, man. Put a sock in it. And what happens is when I remember these people and I imagine them talking me through it, I'm overcome with feeling grateful to them. Boy, was I lucky that you were a mentor. Was I lucky that you gave me the gift of your time? Was I lucky that you believed in me? Dean McNary back at Boston University when I didn't? That you went to bat for me when I couldn't? If you can think of someone, if you're that listener, living or dead, and you might say, I've never had someone like that. Well, why pick a hero, pick an athletic hero who you've never met. Pick an athletic hero who actually cares about people. And imagine talking your way through it with them. And they would say the same thing. They might not have the Brooklyn accent. They might say, what's going on? I'm just really feeling low. Tell me what's going on. And then imagine them talking you through it so that you don't have to feel alone in the dark night of your soul.